and we are live, and by we I mean I, because Brian will be here in a few minutes. We're gonna get some video going for you guys. People are gonna start rolling in. Getting set up for our stream on a Friday afternoon. So welcome in those of you who are joining us. My name's Nick. I'm streaming to you live from BatteryEVO. Brian will be with us shortly. He and I are going to answer all of your BatteryEVO questions. So whether you're looking to take your home off the grid with a whole home ESS, or if you're looking to power your golf cart battery, RV, or anything else, we got you covered. I'll answer your questions, help you understand it. Even if you're at the very beginning of your off-grid journey, we can help you get started. You know, when you're just getting started, you know, I want to put solar on my home, I want to lower my power bill. It can seem like a lot of stuff to figure out all at once. But we can help make it a little simpler for you here at BatteryEVO. If you tell me things like the size of your home, you know, what kind of appliances you're looking to take off the grid, factors like that, even the state you live in, we can come up with a plan that is perfect for you. So let me know what you're trying to accomplish. We'll make it possible. Again, my name's Nick. Brian will be here shortly. So for those of you who are new to the stream, maybe you've never been on a BatteryEVO live stream before, it's a Q&A about BatteryEVO and our products, what we do. And while we're live, only while we're live, I'm allowed to offer you exclusive discounts. So that'll be lower prices than anything you see on our website. If you go on our website and look at our sale items, we're allowed to go even lower than that. That's the live stream discount. It's the secret way to get the lowest possible price on a BatteryEVO product. So if you've been thinking about grabbing something, today's a good day to do it. All you got to do is text that number at the top of your screen. That's 747-282-0538. I'm keeping my eye on the chat. I want to answer any questions you guys might have. In the meantime, I'm going to pull up a video to play on Brian's TV there. Again, he'll be back soon. Who here likes batteries? It's so hard to solo it, you know? I just got a yap. Could one of you guys shoot a message to marketing and just let them know we've started our live? Just so alert that if anybody comes in that we're on stream. Yeah, or general, whichever one's fine. Keep this video going on loop here for you fellas. You guys can see all kinds of Komodo goodness over here. Goose Pond. Hey Nick, just opened YouTube, so you guys are on live. Just a quick hello, can't hang around. Hey Goose Pond, good to see you again. I responded to your email. We were talking the other day. Good to see you. Hello, hope you're off to a good start to your weekend. It reminds me I need to go watch more of your videos tonight. I enjoyed watching them the other day. After work, I'm going to pull it up on my TV. Thanks for coming in to say hello. So again, anybody who might just be joining, my name's Nick. This is the BatteryEVO live stream. I'm streaming to you from our headquarters here in Los Angeles. I'm going to answer any and all BatteryEVO questions, whether it's what you might use your batteries for, how you might go about the install, or if you have any technical questions about the inside of the battery, the inverter, their components, let me know. We'll help you out with that as well. I just kicked my camera, so I gotta fix that. Thanks, Rob. So what you see on the TV in Brian's camera here, you see that's our Komodo system. So that is our baby right now. We love the Komodo. It is an all-terrain battery tank, kind of an industrial game changer. So I'm sure you guys have been out on work sites before where you've seen diesel generators being used, or during an outage situation, maybe disaster response, diesel generators are being used to kind of help in a pinch. That's where the Komodo comes in and can change things. You know, there's no gas needed for it. It's a lithium-ion based system, just like our Walrus system. But of course, the big twist on that is that it's a remote control tank. You see those tank treads, those are all terrain. So you can hook up that remote control and drive it in sand, dirt, mud, concrete, anything else. It's got 160 horsepower drive on it. It can tow thousands of pounds, as you see it's towing the trailer there. And it's got a very large capacity. So our largest standalone battery that you can buy right now is our King Kong 2. That's 62 kilowatt hours of capacity, and that's enough to power a building for days. That's enough to keep you powered for a good long time. But the Komodo has 100 kilowatt hours of capacity, so that is significantly more. I'll give you another reference point. An average Tesla Powerwall, about 15 kilowatt hours. So we're talking over 5 Tesla Powerwalls to match the capacity of our biggest batteries. So if you want that much power on wheels, let me know. There's a lot of applications for that Komodo. We're seeing it go into all kinds of industries, aerospace, construction, agriculture, all that kind of stuff. Options are pretty much limitless. It has everything you need on it, from power outlets for your tools, electrical hookups for buildings. It has a built-in EV charger. You can plug right into any Tesla car or any other electric vehicle, charge right up out of your tank. And just to keep it real with you, it's just fun. You know, I film the video content around here, and it is very fun to drive that Komodo around. I got my eye on the chat. Feel free to ask some questions. I'd love to help you guys out on your off-grid journey. Again, my name's Nick. Brian will be in here shortly. And if you want a live discount, call that number. That's text that number. That's 747-282-0538. Me and my team will get it right here in this room, where we're able to offer you exclusive discounts lower than anything you see on our website. Even the sales prices will go lower. You just got to text in while we're live, say you're coming from the live stream. That's your ticket. see a couple folks streaming in. Don't be shy. Ask me your battery questions. Randy L says, does the King Kong 2 communicate with EG4 inverters? Yes, it does, but it's critical to make sure that you're paired up on your voltage. So just make the King Kong is a 48 volt system, so you'll want to make sure that you have a 48 volt inverter to match. Many inverters are compatible with multiple voltage batteries as well, so there's a very good chance that you're already set, but EG4, it is compatible. That King Kong 2, that's a 62 kilowatt hour system. Nice big battery, about pallet sized. Where are you planning on putting it? Randy, you planning on using this for a home situation or your business? Ryan's back. I got a co-host, guys. Game changer. Yeah, it's already live. Taking a couple questions.
Alright, cool. Friday, so we have to celebrate something here, right? Do you agree?
It's a celebratory kind of Friday in here, right? Everybody's in a celebratory mood this afternoon in marketing. Yes, Randy, that King Kong 2 does communicate. In a shop, 6000 XP is 48 to 52 volt. Oh yeah, so you're perfect. Very cool, is perfect for running a shop off grid, especially if you got a solar hookup. Let us know if you have any questions at all about how you'd hook it up, or the size, weight, etc. But it sounds like I have a feeling you know your stuff. I'll let you know now, if you're new to the BatteryEVO live streams, while we're live and only while we're live is when we're able to offer out these discounts. So Brian and I are authorized to go lower than anything on our site, even the current sales prices. So just let us know. Text us in at that number, 747-282-0538. We'll hook you up. Mark Pedzinski yawns. It's tough being sleepy. You should probably go take a nap. You'll wake up feeling completely recharged. Great way to spend a Friday afternoon.
Great.
Mark, if you need anything battery related, you got any questions for BatteryEVO, let us know. We will answer your questions. If not, it might be bedtime, buddy.
How long will you live for before?
About 15 minutes.
Last time when people go back and rewatch these, I realize that we do wait for the questions.
Yeah, it takes a second for the questions to roll.
Yeah, but by not like saying anything, if anybody comes back and rewatches this, it's just like, I don't think it makes sense afterwards.
Yeah, it takes a second.
You know?
Takes a second.
But
You know what I can do? I can go to the old streams and trim them. Like edit it to start at a point where we're already taking questions. You can do that in YouTube. We'll do that for some of the old ones. Tear Smoke says, has anyone had the EG4 Lux power for a long period of time? Randy said, I sent a text but no response yet. Brian, you want to check on that text from Randy? We got you covered, Randy. Randy, how long have you had that EG4?
let us know what makes the EG4 such a respected product in the inverter world. A lot of people always...
Yeah, people are always asking about the EG4. It's a great inverter. Randy, let us know if you don't get that text back. Just let us know. We'll make sure that we take care of you. Want to give you the hookup on that King Kong 2.
That's his loving and caring personality.
I am very caring. I nurture everyone around me.
Who's the last person you nurtured to completion?
Nurtured to completion? I don't know if I want to answer that. So Randy's had that EG4 for about a year and a half. How are you liking it, Randy? Any insights that you could provide to Tear Smoke here? Seems like Tear Smoke's curious about that inverter.
And
let us know how it's been treating you.
Kong 2 communicates with the EG4, I know you answered, but any 48 volt inverter in the US market, our 48 volt batteries should be able to work with them.
Yep.
There might be some limitations in some of the features of the inverter, like if the inverter has like special features between the battery or whatever, maybe you might not have that fully because our battery packs are not manufactured for that inverter. But as a battery pack, standalone, it works perfectly fine. If you need a large capacity 48 volt battery pack, you can start with the Rhino 4, which is 40 kilowatt hour, and then either run those in parallel or you can upgrade to like a King Kong 2 at 62 kilowatt hour. And if you need anything beyond that, we have the Komodo, which starts at 100 kilowatt hour. If anybody's interested in a stronger inverter, it's the Pacific Pro and the Komodo. Those two have the stronger inverters. So depending on what you are looking to get, just let us know in the chat.
Randy's looking for that King Kong 2 for his shop, which is cool. What kind of shop? You run like an auto shop?
Coffee shop.
Coffee shop. Did you see his text? You got it?
how, like, Boba's been around for a long time, right?
Boba?
Yeah. But, like,
I don't know the history of boba, personally.
like, when did it become trendy?
It feels like it got very trendy very recently.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, like within the last 3 years or so.
Or is it just that, like, we were younger and, like, I don't remember being
It's an
like, in high
adult
school
thing?
and anybody talking about Boba.
No, nobody talked about boba.
Like, when I got to, like, 24 years old, I heard Boba everywhere.
I didn't hear much about boba until I got out here to Los Angeles. So it's an LA thing.
Yeah, maybe it's that.
And nobody's talking about boba back in Florida.
Tommy, last name Boba. Tommy Boba.
Just gonna throw it out. I throw this out on every stream. I'm from Naples, Florida. That's Southwest Florida. If you are coming in here from Florida, I'm gonna hook you up with a Florida Man discount. I know Tear Smoke. I think you were a Florida man as well. Tear Smoke says, I forgot I sent an email with all my details yesterday. And Brian, turn your mic up. I'll turn Brian's mic up real quick.
Nick is in full control of the YouTube live stream. If you're jumping in the chat, just ask something or bring up a product or something. Otherwise, we don't really. We could just say the same stuff on repeat, but it's not really helpful to anybody. And if it's really helpful to you, you probably should ask.
Randy says, looking at the Kong 2 or the Walrus. So, both great systems. It really depends on what you need more as far as what you're looking for in your product. That King Kong 2 is just the battery. It doesn't have the inverter built in, but it has a much larger capacity. The Walrus G4 is at 23 kilowatt hour capacity. That's still great, especially for home residential use. And it has the... Also, you weren't one of the Florida people. You were right about the crazy folks. Definitely right about the crazy folks down there. Oh yeah. Okay, so Walrus, inverter built in, smaller capacity, but great, very reliable system, all in one, everything you need to go off grid. King Kong 2, higher capacity, it'll run for much longer. If you already have that inverter, then I would recommend the Kong, especially since you're planning on using it for business use.
Yeah, I think Randy already has the EG4, so you should just be looking at a 48-volt battery pack. Either the Rhino or the Kong 2.
Rhino is a good alternative option as well if you're looking for something a little smaller than the King Kong 2. The Rhino 4 comes in at 40 kilowatt hours.
Yeah.
It's a little cheaper.
Also potentially, I'm not sure. He says it has the EG4. Does that EG4 have PV input, Randy, so you can do off-grid solar? Because then maybe that'd be something you want to consider for the Walrus. If you wanted something with PV input to run your house off-grid. I know sometimes some of those other inverters you have to be either grid tied or I don't know, it's just everybody has a little bit different setup. Does the EG4 inverter that you have PV inputs? Anybody wants to go off grid and disconnect off the grid, the Walrus is the perfect start point. Some people will sometimes feel that the PV input on the Walrus isn't very high. But I think that another thing to understand is sometimes you don't need that much solar. Now, if you're maybe running like a farm or like some type of commercial building, you probably need more solar panels. But traditionally speaking, for small to mid-sized homes, you don't need as much power, as much solar as you think you do. So people will say that they want the PV input to be higher on the Walrus. The Walrus is designed to be very affordable. So because of that, it might not be as feature-rich as some of these higher-end inverters. To start at the beginning, the Walrus is a good start. 8 solar panels at 550 watts, which is enough solar to power your home and charge your battery. And then Randy said he hasn't seen the Rhino. It's the Rhino 4, it's a square rectangle. Starts at 40 kWh. So the one that we had before that was the Rhino 3. Maybe we'll drop the link in the chat. So if you wanted a bit better of a deal, well, it's not really better, it's just less capacity.
I'll send a link to a Rhino 4 here for you to open up.
The Rhino 4 is newer. We have limited stock right now, but if you wanted the best price, I think that for anybody who wants a 48 volt pack, leaning towards the King Kong 2 if you want a better price today. But if for whatever reason you can't get the Income 2 or it's too big or whatever, just text us at the number, ask me for the random board, and I'll have somebody to do it. What information should we rifle off in case somebody sees this later on?
In case somebody's watching later on, I just want you to know that you are seen, you are heard, you are loved.
Well, it looks like they weren't here very live and they're rewatching the rerun, but that's okay.
Yeah, we missed talking to you. You know, maybe you're watching this 10 years out from now. It's like a decade later.
Yeah. Tommy, I want you to pre-record all of your conversations with me, and then when I ask you questions, you just play the recording. You have to have pre-recorded responses. It's like I'm speaking to you presently, but in the past.
Tear Smoke says HF equipment like EG4 and others give me trust issues. There's a reason LF equipment gets used in life-critical situations. Tear Smoke, could you remind me, I know we were talking on Wednesday, could you remind me if you're set up with a system already and what you're using? Well, you sent an email. Which email did you send that to? Was that Brian? I'll check. In the past, I've given the marketing email out to people. Check it.
It's always better to text. You can text us, it'll drive directly to us. We have a customer support team, and those will go to customer support. They don't know about the eleigible or current eleigible. If you're jumping in, we send you support. Okay, so I'm not sure, do you speak to someone support? Yeah, probably went to support. If that's the case, we don't have that email.
I want to get new mics in here. Our audio could be better.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What happened to the one we had? They broke?
I think the cord on it broke when we moved to the new office, but we could do better than that one anyway.
Okay. We're getting new mics, let us know if you
Look
want
into
us to get new mics in chat.
Oh, I know they want us to get new mics.
Yeah?
I know.
And if you're just jumping in, ask a question in the chat so we know what to talk about next, otherwise we're rifling off the same information over and over again. I mean, I don't mind doing it, but Nick does, so, you know. Ames 4K 48-volt system with midnight CC and 5.4 kW of solar. Something like that. I have Ames 4K 48-volt system with midnight CC on 5.4 kW of solar.
Times are changing. EG4 makes some great inverters.
Okay. We've always said if you want an inverter that you like that's in the market, grab it. As long as it's 48 volts, come back to us for the largest battery packs at the lowest price.
Yeah, that's what we pride ourselves here at BatteryEVO. Is, you know, there's a lot of great battery companies out there, but out of all of them, we have the lowest price per storage. So as far as the size of our batteries and how much energy they can store for you, lowest price per kilowatt hour on the market.
I wonder if we could, how easily can you maneuver this?
What was that?
Like how easily can you?
Change what's on there?
Yeah.
Oh, I can put whatever.
Can you do
This is YouTube.
Are you able to do like a whiteboard kind of situation? Like a Canva thing here? That's much?
Yes. Yes, I can do that.
Yeah,
Randy says now we have tariffs, so we will see. Yes. Yeah, we do. I would recommend anybody to get ready to lower your prices as much as you can. Like, do anything you can at home to lower your electricity costs because of that. I will say we at BatteryEVO we've been having meetings about how the tariffs are going to affect everything, like all the time. And due to the way that we manufacture, we build our batteries here in the States, actually here in Los Angeles. So we are very hopeful that our prices will not be as affected as some of our competitors will. We use American-built components, not everything, but a good majority of it. So we're expecting to hopefully be less affected in our prices than some of our competitors who do a lot of importing. Randy says, are your batteries LiFePO? Many of them are. Some of them are NMC. If you want to know what the specific chemistry is on one of the products, let me know and I'll get into it for you. But Kong is LFP, right? LiFePO? Yeah. Kong is LiFePO 4. I believe Rhino is LiFePO. Walrus is NMC.
I wonder if we should do a breakdown of the price per kilowatt hour. That's all I was saying, maybe. But I don't know if
Pretty
you're
cool.
also doing
Well, I
that
mean, you
stuff.
could connect your computer there too, you know?
Oh, you're right. Because people are used to do it with the. I don't know do it in.
Well, you have it right here.
FDT and his taxes, it should have been rolled over a few years so we can grow. I'm not going to disagree with you there.
Who in the chat likes the tariff plan and who in the chat doesn't like the
Oh, we're
tariff
getting spicy today.
plan? You know, difference of opinion is okay.
You're lucky Andy walked out of the room.
It's not to scare anybody out, it's just to try to.
I mean, it's a real thing that affects us all, so we can talk about it. Very real thing, affects every American citizen. So if anybody's just joining, my name's Nick, this is Brian, we're streaming to you live from BatteryEVO in LA. We are here to answer all your questions, any curiosities you might have about batteries. Specifically, we got our Walrus all-in-one home ESS system that'll take your home off the grid. We got standalone high-capacity batteries that are perfect for your business use and more. We've got the Komodo battery tank, golf cart, RVs, and everything else. So let us know what you're trying to accomplish. We'll make it accessible for you. We offer exclusive live stream discounts while we're live. All you got to do is text us in. Randy, let us know if Brian got back to you.
Other types of batteries you offer, you'll need an inverter. So anything that's a 48 volt battery pack needs to be paired to an inverter. Technically, you could charge it using a 48 volt DC charger. That's a 110 volt. Is there a reason you're going so slow? And so you could do DC charging for the battery packs alone, but if you wanted it to work seamlessly to your house, you want to pair it to an inverter. Now for the Walrus, you have DC input with a 110 volt charger, and then you have AC input for grid tied through NEMA port, and then you have PV input for solar off grid. Tears Smoke, I don't remember if you were considering getting a battery pack, and if you wanted one, make sure you message us so that we can put you on the list for live YouTube live discount. Randy, same for you. If you want YouTube live discount, text us. If you want some fire one-liners, Tommy is here. He can probably give you like 2 or 3. Oh, he's not here. Dang it.
Tommy's not here to bestow us with his Barnes & Noble Riz.
At least once
Did we know,
a day.
is it canon? Has Tommy actually gone to Barnes & Noble for the Riz? Is
I don't know.
that a canon event?
I think we just made that up and then we just kind of ran with it.
I'm gonna overshare for a second, but I might be the only one here who has book fair related Riz in my canon story.
You said book fair and then you said Riz.
Yep.
It's like,
We gotta do that.
Andy disagrees.
I didn't say anything.
I was talking to somebody
fair
at the
Riz.
LA book
You
fair
got it
and
or
ended
not
up
got
in
it?
a 2-year long distance situationship. Love to get into that off stream sometime.
Yeah, we gotta do that off stream. If anybody wants to know about this book fair Riz, ask about it offline. We gotta go back to
Email me
batteries.
directly.
Oh.
I'll give you. I said email me directly. I'll give you guys all the book fair one-liner tips.
You probably have to know the names of authors, I would think.
It doesn't hurt.
You know, name of authors. You need to know how to properly open up a book spine.
Yeah.
Alright, so people are jumping in the chat. You gotta ask questions in the chat, otherwise we go on tangents. Because you can't talk about batteries all day. You know, we
I
deal with
love talking
batteries
about batteries, though. I want to see
multiple
some
days a
more
week.
battery questions.
Sick of it. But if you ask a question, I'll answer it.
Let's break down that price per kilowatt hour while we wait for more questions. I'm going to make
do it.
Brian take up more space on the screen here so that you can see everything he's working on.
So we'll do it with the King Kong 2 just because I think that is the best price one. So right now, the unit, so I think one thing people should try to recognize
Real
on our
quick,
site.
Tear Smoke says, I'm going to order 2 Walrus and a 48 volt battery over the next few months. I tried to work with Gentry Solar, but that flopped. I try to support American brands. Excellent. Let us know. We're here to support you. And we took a little break from our live streams, but it's back, and we are going to be doing this a couple times a week. So you can always come in to check in with us here, and glad to have your business. We'll always make sure if you talk to me or Brian on live, we'll give you that live stream hookup. So just make sure that when you're buying, that you remind us that that's where you came in contact with us.
Yeah. So we're gonna try to break this down. I think one thing that people should recognize on our site is that you'll see like a big sticker price scratched off. It's kind of like an MSRP, or what we would consider like a traditional price per kilowatt hour in the market. So if like, let's say I go to like, what's a good, like EcoFlow maybe?
Yeah.
Okay, so if I go to like an EcoFlow bladder, and this is just to compare the price per kilowatt hour, just so that people can, when they come back to our site or if they watch this back later, how do you justify our pricing? I know sometimes the sticker price looks very large, but when you average it out based on the price per kilowatt hour, it's very well priced or low priced. If I go to a product like, let's say this Delta Pro 3, so their price is $2,799, right? So we're gonna go ahead and copy this image, bring it over here. So their lowest price is set to $2,799. I'm gonna use the King Kong 2 for comparison. If anybody wants to learn how to use Canva, this is how you use Canva. This helps too. Okay, so they're $2,799, and we are at MSRP. But right now, you can get this product with the Big 60, $8,299, right? So we are $8,299 on special. If you text in, we'll give you a better deal than what's on the site, but you gotta text in. Otherwise, no special price. Okay, so we're at $8,299. Oh. So we're at $8,299 for the King Kong 2. So it looks more expensive, but then we gotta look at the specs. So now, the EcoFlow Delta 3 has 4,096 watt hours, or equivalent to 4.1 kWh, right? So 4 kilowatt hour with a 4,000 watt output. So it's got so they got 4 kWh plus 4 kW for the inverter. The King Kong 2 does not have an inverter, so maybe we'll do the comparison with the G4 afterwards.
Yeah, let's bring G4 in there next.
Alright, but we'll do this one. So this has 62 kWh. So in this scenario, we'll go price per kilowatt, because it'll be 4 plus 4 equals 8. KW.
Tear Smoke wants to know, how do you guys handle products that have issues? Return in whole, ship out parts, refunds?
Both.
Yeah, kind of all of the above. It depends on the scenario. If it's an issue that we know is a quick solution with a part, we will mail you out the parts and walk you through it. We have done full refunds. We have shipped back and forth. It just depends on the scenario. If anybody ever receives a completely defunct unit, then that would be a refund situation, of course, or just a replacement,
Okay,
depending
check it
on
out.
the needs.
Not to interrupt you.
No, you're good.
But look, okay, so we're gonna go 8 kW parentheses H because we're adding up the kilowatt and the kilowatt hour, and we're dividing it by their price. So we're gonna go 2,799 divided by 8. So they are at $349.87 per kilowatt. So for every kW you see on there, they're priced at 349.87 per kWh, right? Again, H in parentheses because we're adding up both the kilowatt for the inverter and the kilowatt hour storage. We're at 62 kilowatt hour at 8299. So we'll take that number, 8299 divided by 62. We're at 133 as it stands. So honestly, even if you get to like about 160 per kilowatt hour, that's already a ridiculously
That's-
good price.
yeah. I mean,
the price
we're-
we're at now, we're at $133.85 per kilowatt hour.
That's more than half off per kilowatt hour compared to other systems.
This is where I will challenge anybody to go on the market, go look for something, and try to find something cheaper. Now, there's a chance you might find something cheaper, but I don't think so. 133 with 85. So we are 133 with 85 cents per
Is there any drinks in there?
kWh.
Any drinks in there?
Okay, so if you can see that on the screen, I hope you can see it on the screen. I'll try to zoom in a little bit. So now that's a way to like see this better. For this, and this go away too.
If you happen to be in there and to grab a coffee for me, it would be appreciated for generations.
Okay, so if you're looking at the prices on our site and you're like, damn, this looks expensive, you have to do it on a price per kilowatt hour. You can't just look at the sticker price. It'll be very, very, very hard to one-on-one compare our unit to anything else in the market if you're just looking at the sticker price. So that's a comparison to the Delta Pro 3. We could do, for example, so now if you wanted to match what we have here, you'd have to add these up together and you'd be paying $349 for every 1 kW that increases here. You're paying another $349 for that extra kilowatt or kilowatt hour. When you're doing ours, you're going at 133. So we are less than half the price of the most popular products on the market.
Want to do G4?
EG4 is an inverter, so that's going to be...
Oh, I said our G4.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So let's go... So now we'll do the G4 because the G4 has an inverter plus storage. So we'll grab that one.
While Brian's grabbing that, I'm going to go through my spiel again. Guys, welcome. If anybody's just joining us, I saw a couple folks rolling in. My name's Nick and this is Brian. We're streaming to you live from BatteryEVO. We're here to answer all your questions, whether you're looking to take your home off the grid with a whole home battery and plus inverter all in one, like the Walrus, or you got an RV, golf cart, or anything else. We got clean, green lithium power for you at the lowest price per kilowatt hour on the market. We're actually proving how that's the case right now on stream. We will hook you up with exclusive live stream discounts if you're watching this stream. We've been authorized to go lower than any of the sales prices on our website right now. Just for live stream viewers, you just got to text us in 747-282-0538. That's the number at the top of your screen. We'll get it right here in this room and give you a custom quote.
So let's do the G4 next. So right now, if you buy it with the Spring 250 code right now, it'll come out to 5749. That's with discount code Spring 250. If you want a better price than that number, you got to text the number on the screen and we'll give you a better price. Okay, so here we're going to do the 23 kilowatt hour battery pack plus the 15 kVA inverter. So for every K you have, we're going to have 38. So we'll have equals 38 K W parentheses H, but it's not exact. Add them up together. Okay, so then we're going to take the 5749. We're going to divide it by 38. And you're at $151.28 per kilowatt hour. As it stands, 551.28. 51.8 per kW. So now the sticker price might feel expensive compared to what most other things are on the market. But let's say you were trying to create an efficient system for your home for multiple days, for more output power, whatever it is. How do you compare the two units? And what are you looking to get? Are you trying to get the best price or trying to get the most feature-rich item? Trying to get the best price, you can see here, the G4, as it stands, you're paying $151.28 per kilowatt hour. So for every kW you see here, you're paying 151. So you're still less than half the price of the most popular products on the market, even when they dropped their price by $1,000. They were less than half, no matter what. So you could basically take any product and do this exact same formula, and then you'll be able to see what they're pricing theirs at and what we're pricing ours at. And you want to go based on price per kilowatt hour. It's kind of like miles per gallon, right? You don't really go based on the size of the gas tank, you go based on the miles per gallon for the most efficiency. So if you want to get, so that'll basically tell you like about, if we were to give you a 100 kilowatt hour battery pack, what it would cost you, right? We would give a 100 kilowatt hour battery pack at this price, 151.28 times 100, $15,000 for a 100 kilowatt hour battery. If we were to make one that's a standalone like that, it could be potentially priced around here, around here, right? Give or take a number depending on whatever other things, other factors we gotta put into consideration. But give or take at this price point, you want 100 kilowatt hour, you pay for about 15 grand.
Yeah, so it's just, and keep in mind, like, the average home uses a lot of kilowatt hours per day. People want to take their whole home off the grid a lot of the time. So in order to do that, you couldn't just do it with this EcoFlow here that's 4 kilowatt hours. You couldn't do it. You'd last maybe an hour tops.
Yeah.
Brian Bishop says, how do we know the size that we would need for the battery? We have 3 cabins and want to take them off grid, each with a 100 amp breaker box. Also, what are the location requirements for the batteries? It's a great question.
Okay, cool. Just in case you guys want your responses quicker, remember that the YouTube Live is a little bit delayed. So if you're asking the question, your answer we're not ignoring you, just delayed. But to know the amount of battery you would need, you would want to go based off of, a good place to start is your utility bill. Your utility bill will show you how much electricity you're using per month. You'll take that number, divide it by 28 days, because that's like an average that it costs a month, and then you'll get a number. Like let's say it's 20 kWh. Then you know the size of battery pack you would need if in case you went out of like power outages. You would know how much you would need. So I guess we could do like an example. So let's say, actually maybe I could put like an example of the utility.
For a cabin, what are the size of these cabins?
Yeah, what are the size
if
of
the
the
square
cabins?
footage would help us come up with an estimate.
We'll do a breakdown and show you how to do it, but yeah, you have 3 cabins. What are the sizes and what appliances are inside? Right? Lights, fridge, ACs.
Are you
If you
using
got a
an
100 amp
HVAC?
breaker box, that's perfect. All you would need to do is add a generator port to each of those breaker boxes, and then you can run the G3. To go off grid, you would need PV solar. So consider a G4 per unit. So you might need 3 G4s with 3 solar kits. If you didn't want to do it this way, you could probably upgrade to like a Pacific Pro and wire it all up to 3 cabins. And for location requirements, if you probably want them indoors. You want them indoors, but if you can't, get a weatherproof shed and then put it inside that. Just don't want too much water and dust. All right, so here's how you can tell. So here's an example of a bill here. And so they're saying that amount used this month is 1,843 kilowatt hours. So let's say this person wanted to go off the grid. How much solar and or battery backup would they need to sustain their home? So if they're using 1,843 kilowatt hour monthly. So divided by 28, go by 28 if you're averaging for the whole year. You got 65.82 kilowatt hour daily. That's about how much they're using. With that 65 kilowatt hour, if let's say they experienced a power outage, but they still wanted to maintain all of their appliances on at full scale, they would need a battery pack that could sustain this much. For this battery pack size, you would start at the King Kong 2. King Kong 2 has 62 kilowatt hour.
Tear Smoke, we do the math for you, so you don't gotta worry about it. What's up, Rooster Bear? Welcome. Hopefully we do get a stimulus check. I could eat. I never have enough money.
Stimmies. I miss the stimmy days. All right, so that's how you would know, right? So that's how you know. Now you don't necessarily need a battery pack size for the whole thing, right? Like let's say I'm using 65 kilowatt hour a day. You don't necessarily need a 65 kilowatt hour battery pack. Some people think that they need the whole thing. What you want to do is you want to create a buffer, right? Let's say you want to offload half of the energy. Or let's say you only need it for nighttime. Or let's say you want to do time of use settings. So it's always important to tell us what your goal is, and then we can show you ways for it to be cost effective. Some people call in and they're like, I'm using 40 kWh, I need 40 kWh. But that might not be the case. Because if you go PV off-grid solar, the energy that's coming in from the solar is being used in your home. You'll only need the battery pack for when there's no sun. If you're doing a backup power situation, you don't want to be running all your appliances at full blast during a power outage because it'll deplete your battery pack. If you had a 62 kilowatt hour battery pack and you're using 65 kilowatt hours a day and you experienced a power outage for a week, you would deplete the battery pack in one whole day. Right? Now you might think, well, that's not really that efficient, but it's like you're in a power emergency. Same goes for your gas and diesel generators. If you're in an emergency, you don't want to be running your breaker box at full capacity. You should turn off some of the breakers of what's not necessary. You just want your fridge, some lights, and that's probably it. Especially if you're in a hurricane situation, in a power outage situation, don't run central ACs, don't do laundry. You want to be able to keep your battery pack on for as long as possible. If you have PV solar, you don't have to worry about this situation because you'll always have energy as long as there's sun. And if you have a 220 volt, 5 kilowatt generator or more, you could use that gas or diesel generator to offset your fuel costs and charge your battery pack. So that's why it's important to tell us, like that's how you find out how much battery you need, and then two, you want to figure out what your plan is, and we can show you how to do it. That was for Brian, right? Brian Bishop wanted to know how to find out?
Brian Bishop. Yeah, let us, Brian, if you're still here, let us know if any extra info you can give us to help us come up with an estimate for you would be helpful. But I would say that 3 G4s would be a great way to take each one off the grid. They'd each have their own power supply and inverter, which is nice for each individual cabin. If you're here and you're still interested in that, shoot us a text in. We got that text number at the top of your screen. That's 747-282-0538. We offer exclusive live stream discounts while we're live and only while we're live. When we stop this stream, we're no longer able to offer those prices. It's lower than the sales prices that are currently on our website. We always say the live stream is the secret way to get the lowest price on a BatteryEVO product. We actually get in trouble sometimes for the prices we do on here. Brian says 600 square feet each with AC/heat pump, microwave, water heater, dishwasher. So that sounds like a great scenario for a G4, especially at a 600 square foot size. Walrus G4 would be very compatible with those cabins. If you're interested, like I said, if you're interested, shoot us a text in at that number. It'll actually go straight to Brian. He can answer your questions there as well in order to create that custom quote for you for something that works. If you got any other question about these units, how they work, how you might hook them up, let us know. That's what we're here to do.
Yeah, 600 square foot, it's pretty good. Those ACs, are those mini splits or is that central AC? I would maybe think that they're mini splits, but I'm not sure. If it's a mini split, no worries. Will this chat be available to view later? Probably, yeah.
Yeah, we keep them up. If you go to our YouTube channel and click on the live streams little subsection on it, you'll be able to find this. We usually do this Wednesdays and Fridays, so this will be the most recent one until like mid next week.
Yeah. Yeah. The last time we did the live, we got like a frenzy in here. This one's not going as.
Yesterday's live was Wednesday's live was super busy. Maybe we'll pick it up a little bit later. Tear Smoke says, over the years we've converted over to inverter-based appliances and heat pump dry. Living off-grid is easier than you think. It's true. I know so many people, we've met so many people who are fully off-grid through our work here. There's some really cool ones too. We were chatting with a guy named Dean who lives out in New Mexico, and he and his wife are fully off-grid out in the desert. They source all of their electricity from solar. They use our batteries for it. They bring in water that they fill a tank where it's been a while, but we did the math. They pay a lot less for water than you would just from a utility company. They even set up their own internet tower on their property. So very cool stuff. Off-grid lifestyle is very cool. Brian says also fridge and lights.
Fridge and lights. Okay. Lights, make sure you have LED lights. But lights do not take up a lot of energy, especially if you're using a 600 square foot location. Fridge, they average about 200 watts, 2 to 500 watts depending. And then let me know if your AC is a mini split AC like a wall or window unit, or is it a central AC like the big one? What is it and how large is it? At the 600 square foot each, Walrus Q4 with PV solar input is going to be no problem. It's going to be no problem. I would recommend getting one for each unit so you can create a more efficient system so you're not running through so many life cycles between each battery pack. That's also one thing that I think maybe we should mention is that when people ask like how long the battery is going to last, I think they're thinking about it like years. But a battery's lifespan is not based on total years. It's based on life cycles. So the units that we have are rated between 3,000 and 5,000 deep life cycles, meaning 0 to 100. Okay, so if you're using the battery pack, let's say every night you use it and you're using, let's say, 40% of the battery pack's power every night, you're not creating a deep life cycle. It only creates a life cycle when it goes to 0 and then back up to 100. That's a full life cycle. So if you're using 40% of the battery pack's power every day or every other day, you're not creating that life cycle. So those 3,000 to 5,000 life cycles are not being used up daily. It would take you a lot more time to use up all those deep life cycles compared to those like lead acid batteries or anything else that's out in the market. So that's how you would average it. So if you're using 65 kilowatt hour a day and you're using the 62 kilowatt hour Kong and you're running out of battery pack every day and then recharging it to 100, you're creating a deep life cycle every single day. But most of the time that probably won't happen. You're creating a buffer. So think about like your iPhone, think about like your electric vehicle. You're not just going to 0 and then letting it charge to 100 again. You complete down to like 10, 20, you get that little notification, you charge it back up to 40, 50, 60, and you keep using the battery. So you're not overusing the battery.
Facts. Welcome. I see a couple new folks coming in. Welcome to BatteryEVO live stream. My name's Nick. This is Brian. We're here to answer your questions. Ask us anything. We'll help you understand our systems. I see a couple people liking the stream. Thank you for that. If you've been listening for a little bit and haven't, please like this stream. It helps YouTube know that we are doing a good job within the niche of solar energy. I make all our video content around these parts, so every like I see come in here makes me feel good. Any other questions? We got our eye on the chat. We want to help you guys out. We got those exclusive live stream discounts while we're streaming. You just got to text us in. I know Randy texted us in earlier about the Kong 2. I think Brian's taking care of him.
Kong 2. If anybody in here has interests in other topics, mention it in the chat. It's always good to know what people are into.
We can talk tariffs, we can talk conspiracy theories.
Yeah, we can talk batteries. We can break it down. If you want to know how to do the installation, we can break it down. You just have to ask. If you're just here because you want to get a deal, just text us at that number, and you could leave the chat if you want to, and just go get your deal if that's what you're trying to do. Building a Komodo mini light platform for a mobile laser welder. Need 8 kWh, 4 kW, min continuous inverter, TT30R at 30 amp, 125 volt, any system offhand in that range. If you're building it yourself, we could potentially get you some parts that can get you there. So 8 kWh, I guess, maybe just let us know like how large is this platform Azide makes. Let us know what is the actual size, so that we can, if you're gonna
Cool
do
stuff. Are you doing it with tank treads?
Yeah, he's not mentioning any type of voltage in here, so I'm just assuming if we could meet his kilowatt and kilowatt hour capacity, we're in the clear. So I would think that maybe we could use something like in the RV category.
Probably in the RV category
Yeah.
would be your best bet.
What is the surge capacity on the G4 inverter? I think that's in the specs. I don't know if maybe somebody can copy
Serdar,
paste it in there.
what is surge capacity on the G4 inverter?
It's in the specs.
Will it start a 4-ton AC? We with ACs that size, we definitely recommend a soft starter. Yeah, like the peak.
Oh man, okay, so there's two questions in here. So Tear Smoke asked, are you gonna offer any inverters for RV? So there's this 12 volt inverter that we have that you can use in the RV. We're mostly focused on the G4 type product versus RV and the other categories. So same as before.
Message it to me.
Yeah, message it in. So same as before, like if you want, you could get an inverter from anywhere that you like, and then come back and match it up to our voltage, and we'll have the most kilowatt hour capacity. So I'm gonna say short answer, we do have some. Long answer, we don't have that many. We only have the 12 volt inverter that could be used for the RV. It could also be used for small sheds. For Azai, he wants 4 kW. Our smallest inverter is 3 kW. I don't know if you're willing to sacrifice 1 kW for that. But it would still take you about at least 3 Razorbacks to get 9 kWh. So possibly Azai, maybe this would be the kit you could use depending on whatever.
Yeah, it depends on the size, but the nice thing is those Razorbacks are nice and slim and compact. You'd be able to kind of put them in modularly however you need to. Would like to do tank treads, planning on building a tank tread, a stair climbing dolly. That's super cool. Very badass.
I think they have this in, we were going to bring one of these.
We have one. We have a stair climbing dolly actually in the back. Brian Bishop says, I sent text. We'll have to get more specific info for you to get more specific info. Sounds good.
Yeah.
We'll try and lock in a live stream discount for you if we can.
Yeah. Let us know in the chat. Well, I mean, when you text us, let us know, like, again, what you're, I would recommend, at a 600 square foot, and the appliances that you're using, Brian, just running a G4, no problem.
Can't go wrong with
No
the G4.
problem. It'll do it, no problem. And if you set up the PV input, you'll never have to worry about it.
Thanks for texting in.
And then starting the 4.1 AC, always try to, whenever you're using a battery pack, whether it's ours or anybody else's, do a soft starter. Okay, I know sometimes that there's gas and diesel generators that are strong enough to just crank it out, but regardless, it's not efficient. Anytime you create a large critical load like that, no matter what power appliance you use, it's just not efficient. It's a large critical load. So although somebody could tell you, yeah, this product can do it, it's just not that, it's not efficient to be throwing such a large critical load at your power appliance. Right now, if it's the grid, that's different because the grid can handle whatever it's got to handle. But even if you use a soft starter connected to your grid, you would save more money on your AC anyway, because you get to reduce the critical load that comes through. The critical load is that surge of power. If you're running into the grid, you're being charged more money because you're being charged per kilowatt. So, so technically, short answer, no, it won't start a 4.1 AC unless you get the soft starter. We don't really recommend using a very large AC, but the G4 should do it. The G3, we don't recommend anything over a 2.5 ton AC. The G4 is a little stronger. You should do the 4-ton AC. Still put a soft starter, and if you could tie it with either the solar or your grid, it'll offload some of the energy, so you can create an efficient system.
Zaid says, checking out Razorback now. Awesome. Glad we could help. If you see that and it looks like a good fit for you, be sure to text us in while we're still live streaming. Again, that's that number at the top of the screen, the 747 number. Text us in. Brian will get your text, and that's how we're able to offer you the live stream discounts. We have to know that you're coming from the live stream. But if that's the case, we will be able to hook you up with a price lower than what you see on our website. Tear Smoke says Komodo needs an air cannon option. Tell me about it. We want to put all kinds of stuff on top of that Komodo. Maybe a t-shirt cannon would be a good one.
T-shirt cannon, safe.
Flamethrower, less safe.
Less safe as a flamethrower. What are we going after though? Excitement or safety? I mean, on a business side, we want to go based off of safety. But when we're just talking Brian and Nick, flamethrower.
Giant buzzsaw. Dude, I want to do like Komodo
BattleBots?
versus Komodo BattleBots. Yeah,
BattleBots?
that'd be so fun. If they could just give us 2 and give us permission to beat the crap out of them however we want, I'd make them fight.
2 Komodo minis?
Minis maybe they would give us permission to do the minis. I don't think they're gonna let us make 2 big Komodos fight.
Yeah, that's an expensive fight.
GWW says I like the calculator setup. Thanks. Brian is going Professor Brian mode today, breaking down the numbers.
Yeah, if you want to know how to do a setup or try to justify pricing or try to analyze your utility bill, just let us know in the chat and we'll break it down. A little earlier, you could rewatch this back, but a little earlier we did the comparison between our price per kilowatt hour versus another product in the market. We chose the EcoFlow. That's a pretty popular product. People like that product. So we just did it to show the price per kilowatt hour. We're not comparing features or anything like that. It's just the price per kilowatt hour. So if for whatever reason you like the system's features and you want to pay that price, that's okay. But for people who want to be cost effective and get the largest battery packs to sustain their homes, this is how you justify the sticker prices you see on our website.
We try and bring the savings to you guys at every step of the way, whether it's in our pricing with the price per kilowatt hour, or even just live streams like this where we're able to be online for 2 hours giving extra deals. We like to make it as accessible as possible for people to go off grid. It's good for the planet. It's good for your wallet. Tear Smoke says, seriously, is there an easy way to move around the King Kong batteries, and what type of support is recommended? So we have a pallet jack that you can get. It's actually on our website. That would be the easiest way to move them around. That would be how you could do it with one person, as long as you're not going like up or down stairs. If you're just like trying to move it around within a flat space, the pallet jack that we have would do that. It's go right under. There's 2 slots on the bottom of the machine. Go right under. You pump it and it lifts. And I'm sure you know how pallet jack works. We have those listed on our website. You can get those to assist with moving it around, because it is a big, heavy unit. When you get 62 kilowatt hours of battery storage in there, it takes up space. It's a lot of lithium cells. For example, take those EcoFlows that Brian has on his TV. That's 4 kilowatt hours, and those take up like a little block of space. So think about how much space you would need. We actually, for the amount of power it is, King Kong 2 is pretty compact to be able to fit on a pallet.
I never thought about it like that. You're right. For the amount of kilowatt hour that's in there, it's very compact.
It's true.
It's all about changing your perspective, isn't it?
It's all about perspective.
It's all about perspective.
So we got into this, but just to loop back, the surge capacity on the G4 inverter is 12 kW, aka 15 kVA. If anybody's just joining, welcome. My name's Nick, this is Brian. We're here to answer all your battery questions. We're here from BatteryEVO, streaming to you from our office in Los Angeles. We've been streaming for a little over an hour now. We're talking to great folks like Azide, Brian Bishop, Tear Smoke, answering some questions. Tear Smoke hit me with aha, that's what she said. I don't remember what part, probably about inserting into the slots.
Tommy is back, so if anybody needs some Barnes & Noble one-liners, Tommy is the best at that. Or so he says. I mean, I guess
Either that or the part where I said you just gotta pump it.
I think Tommy will forever be the person behind the screen, behind the camera. He was only on camera one time when we did the 50 push-ups.
You're right. Tommy, you want to make a cameo today? No Tommy cameo
Tommy's
today.
sick. He's feeling under the weather. Are we back to Tommy being sad?
Here was.
Oh, jeez.
I've been assaulted. Okay. I'm gonna leave this here all weekend. Andy traced me to make that.
Just the outside. If you're just jumping in, ask a question in the chat. If you're just trying to get a deal, text the number you see up on the screen and then ask for a YouTube live deal. Let us know what product you're looking at or interested in, and then we'll be able to write up your quotes pretty quickly. If you want to know about installation, if you want to know how to gauge your utility bill, if you have a business and you want to take this business off the grid, let us know. We can get you a large battery pack and we can get you some incentives for being a business in the United States. So primarily people are using this for the home, but there's so many other use cases you could use batteries for. You just gotta let us know what your plan is in the chat, and then we'll just talk about it. If the chat doesn't kick up, Nick's just gonna kind of kill the feed.
Well, I'll pull the plug if I have to.
Pull the plug and we'll just go back to work.
You guys better engage, or I'm gonna have to go back to working on documents and spreadsheets
Spreadsheets.
to write a soft article.
Stop. And then we're here to offer you batteries, but if anybody has anything to offer us, drop it in the chat.
That's what's up.
No? We don't want to be offered things?
I'll take an offer.
I'll take an offer. We'll take an offer. Our 3D artists will not take any offers.
Tear smoke. What kind of smoke are we talking?
Yeah. And what kind of tier? GWW was in the chat last time. So was Tear Smoke. I think Randy was too. I think Brian Bishop is new. Side Makes is new. Anybody else just jump in the chat? Just use this to get a deal. You don't have to be part of the chat if you want to be, but it does help us have something to talk about.
Thanks to everybody who's joined us so far.
Alright, we seem to be trending, so if anybody wants to buy some battery packs, right now is your chance to get a good deal. Because we're trending up. So just because of that, I'll hook you up.
Got some AI music playing in the background here.
Is it Electric Joyride?
Electric Joyride is in the mix. That's how it's playing this very moment, but it'll come around.
Should we play it out loud? What does the team think? Raise your hands if you want to listen to Electric Joyride out loud.
Lukewarm response from the team.
Wow. Only Chris? Tommy? I know you're sick, but I know you like to sing. Do you do karaoke, Tommy? You believe him? That he does karaoke? Once or twice a week? A week, dude.
Okay, I would believe like once or twice a week.
No, once or twice a week. This dude's on stage consistently. What's your go-to karaoke song, Tommy? Since you do it so much. Yeah? If you had to do a duo karaoke with Serdar, what song are you guys doing?
Tier Smoke says, can the 18K inverter use the 30 and 50 rec at the same time to max out the 60 plus amps?
Yes. That's a tricky one. Yes, you technically could, but you're not going to be able to max it out. Like you're not combining them. It's like if you plug something into the 30 amp input on the side, and then you had the 50 amp output like plugged into something else, like your home, then technically yeah. But I don't think you can combine them to get like a max amperage. And then another thing is too, it's like I don't really think that you would need to. I mean, what devices are you planning to use that would exceed 50 amps? Yes, Brian Bishop, you can rewatch any of the YouTube lives. They stay on our YouTube channel.
If you want, you can go back in time and watch our 8-hour live stream that we did on Black Friday. We'll probably do it again this year. We streamed from the moment we clocked in till the moment we clocked out that day, 8 hours straight.
Should we do like a Easter one?
I'm down. You know, I like the live streams. We can do a long one whenever. Let's do it on our next big sale day.
Okay, we'll try to prep for it. But yes, Brian, it'll stay on our YouTube, so you can always come back to it. Make sure you text the number on the screen, even if you're not ready to buy now. If you don't text us right now, you're not in the system for YouTube Live View. If you hit me up later, can't do it. A lot of information.
It's always cool, you know, a lot of the times in these streams, like on Wednesday, for example, we get lots of knowledgeable folks in the chat because everybody here tends to be already interested in off-grid. And they'll be answering each other's questions too, sometimes sharing experiences and information that we don't have. So it's good to see a little off-grid community building here.
Okay, so we just went over price per kilowatt hour. I guess while the chat picks up, I think maybe we'll kill the stream in a little bit. It's already 4 o'clock on our side.
Oh man, 4
We're gonna go for a little longer. But I guess in the meantime we could do Walrus install. Get rid of these. So the setup is going to be the same for any of the Walrus. So I'm going to show it using the G4 here, but it doesn't matter which Walrus you get. They're all operating the same way. So the G4 or the Walrus inverter has all of these inputs here. Okay, so off to the side here. So the Walrus has PV input, AC input, AC output, DC input, and then it's got 110 and 220 volt outlets on the front. Okay, so do we have this picture like somewhere that's not this GIF?
Do you have the snip paste app?
I can do that.
Quick question, what is the size of the 550 volt panels or watt panels that come with the G4 kit? Do we have the exact measurements on those? I mean, I'm sure we got them. the size of
Yeah,
the
they're
panels.
they're like 3x4, I think.
3x4. Yeah, that sounds right. Spec sheet on those. Yeah, let me shoot a message over to our tech and ask for a spec sheet on those. They're solid panels though. We sell them at wholesale when they're included in the kits. So as far as like price per panel, it's way lower than you'd get if you went to like a solar contractor, for example.
Dude, I saw that. What the heck? Alright, so I guess we gotta break the news. If you want a G4, let us know right now. Because I don't think we have any more.
Really? We sell our last one?
Remember the last YouTube live? I was like, you got, let us know now because we might not have any by Monday.
Well, shucks. You guys think that we're just giving you empty threats when we say that we're selling all our products, but look, we sold all our G4s. That's good news for us. Kind of. I wish we had more inventory right now.
We'll have some more.
They're coming early May.
You could still order a G4, and when we get the new batch of stock, we'll bring them in. But I did tell everybody that they would be out of stock. Always happens. People like to wait, or they're like, I'll wait for later for a better price or whatever. But the YouTube Live is the best price overall. You will not find this price anywhere else, guaranteed. Because we created the system where you couldn't. So you have to use the YouTube Live as the opportunity to get the best price.
Yeah, so Brian Bishop, we were talking to you about G4s. Text in, make sure you might even want to, with the way things are going this year, you might even want to reserve some of those when they come in May.
Yeah. So if anybody needs any products, just message us right now. Even if you're not ready to buy right this second, just message us in. We might be able to hold one for you. We might be able to get you a quote. But if you wait, they'll be gone. We've sold out so many times. And remember, with new tariffs in place and the changing landscape, the price of lithium will increase throughout this year. So, although we just showed you how to get the price per kilowatt hour, that doesn't mean that that price can't fluctuate. It's the same thing like gasoline. Just because the gas today says it's $3.48 does not mean it'll be that price next week. It could be up, it could be down. The price of lithium also changes in the same way. The way we source our battery packs, the way we're able to get you the best price per kilowatt, but that doesn't mean we'll always be able to offer you the price you see today. So prices do change. You gotta text us, or we'll run out of stock while the price is good. If you don't know too much about battery packs, ask in the chat. Because we do have a lot of savvy customers, so they understand price per kilowatt hour. They understand all-in-one system. So when they see these prices get to this, they just buy them.
That is true.
So G4, I just got the message in that we're probably out. The inverters are finished. If anybody wants a backup battery, like an extension pack, let us know.
But fear not, we have other options for you guys.
We have other options. You can still get Pacific. You can still get Pacific Pro. You can still pair any of our 48 volt batteries to a 48 volt inverter. Did we provide them the spec sheet on the let me see if I did it. Solar panel spec sheet. One thing to remember is that we're not going to sell, we won't sell the solar panels on their own.
They come in kits.
They have to come in the kit with the battery. I know some people probably want it because they see our prices and they want that price. We can't offer it at that price if it's not combined with a battery pack. I didn't make the rules, I just have to let you guys know. Some people call in, they're like, I want that price for those panels. Can't do it unless you're buying a battery pack.
Brian doesn't make the rules, he just enforces them.
Let's do the, I think, actually, maybe one of the 3D renders. There's the 3D render with the cables.
Mhm.
The little ant smear, the little dust. Do you know where that is, Andy? I have ready to use. There's
Guys, you're getting an inside look to some of the BatteryEVO file management.
the one where it's the you like.
I mean, I have an animation with that in it looping behind us on our stream.
Wait. Oh, so I gotta get off the screen share?
Here. I mean, if you just look at the stream, you'll see we got some of that going behind. Nick House.
The one where it's connected to the side of the house, like the side of the lot.
Yeah.
Chris' house.
Right? Chris House too?
One or two will show you. I think. But one is the one where it's like a 3D house model and black background. Like that, so.
Ryan's asking, well, we're gonna get more stock. We're gonna get more stock for sure. I would still just text the number on the screen, Brian, so we know that you came in from the YouTube live.
Yeah, we can still lock you in with the live stream discount.
Yeah.
When do you
Text-
need your batteries? Like, what's your timeline?
Well, you said the G4 is going to be your best bet because it's the lowest price, like it's the lowest entry point. And since you're going to need 3, and you're going to want to go off grid, you're going to need solar. You could always get a bigger system, but again, price per kilowatt hour, and then the G4 is our entry point. So beyond there, it only becomes a bigger system from there. It says, I need to make sure we have everything in order. What is it that you're trying to get in order, Brian? Let us know in the chat. Oh yeah, so you said it was
When the render's there. Scene with cables, white BG might be a good one. Video. Unless you want to still. Those are the like frame by frames that make up the videos.
I guess, yeah, you're right. I guess I can do the video and then pause it, right?
Mm-hmm. That video is also on our YouTube channel. Oh, you know, a good one would be the Igloo, powering the Igloo video that Andy and I made. Go to our YouTube channel. BatteryEVO. This most recent post in the main videos section.
This one?
Yep.
Alright, I guess we'll just, I mean, Nick's technically narrating it, but you can always come back and listen to
Yeah,
it.
you can go through it, pause it, explain what you're seeing.
Yeah, so this is what your Walrus is going to come with, right? So you're going to have a 50 amp extension, 250 amp extension cables, and a PV to DC cable. These 50 amp extension cables are to power the home, okay? And the PV is for solar. So if you want to do off-grid solar, you're going to use the PV to DC cable to connect the battery pack to your solar panel. You'll use the 50 amp cables, one to connect to your sub panel, and the other if you're doing grid installation from your panel to the Walrus. Okay, this is actually really good. This is really good.
Oh, I love this
Alright,
video.
so
Andy killed it.
here on the side, you can see the AC input has this little cap. It's open now, so your 50 amp AC cables will go in on this side to charge from the grid. And then you'll use the 50 amp AC output to wire it back to your home. So your house is going to have an electric panel, and then you need to install a NEMA port. If you want to know where to get the NEMA port, we have a materials list. You can find these on Amazon, Home Depot, Lowe's, relatively cheap to get one of these. It'll connect to your main electrical panel, and you just need to wire up a breaker. So for any electricians out there, whatever, if you're taking solar, or if you're trying from the grid, you just need a breaker to pull that energy and then push it through the NEMA port so that you can get energy from the grid. And then the sub panel is used to route the energy away from the main electrical panel or the grid and you're able to power your home without the grid. So now you have another panel without a meter with breakers to your living room, your kitchen, your XYZ. So from this point, you now have a separate breaker box that's not tied to your main electrical panel. So when energy moves in and out of the sub panel, it's not moving your meter, meaning you're not being charged for this. Okay, so that's main electrical panel, sub panel. There you go. So you can use the 50 amp AC output. So let's assume that the Walrus was already charged, right? It has full backup power, and then it's not tied to the PV panels, or it's not tied to the main electrical panel yet. It's just plugged into the sub panel. So this sub panel should have the breakers that power your home, and now you're just going to move the energy from the battery pack through the inverter, through the 50 amp AC port, through your generator port, back into your sub panel, and that wires up your home. Alright. Now right here, Nick's explaining how you can charge it, whether it's the grid or PV solar. So this will be the kit that we provide for you. Over here, it'd be your main electrical panel, but you gotta install the NEMO port. Deals.
Hook him up. Later, Tommy. Feel better.
Tommy left because nobody wanted to ask questions in the chat.
You guys make Tommy sick. I'm just joking. Tommy's got the flu.
Tommy's got the bug.
He's got the battery you lose.
Tommy's got the bug.
Tear Smoke sent us the salute emojis. Salute to you as well, Tear Smoke. Thanks for joining us on live today. If anybody else has any other questions, let us know. We'll take care of you.
Alright, so right here in this image you can see that there's two connections connected on the Walrus. So now you have the main electrical panel through the NEMO port wired into your AC input. Now you can take charge from the grid or your solar grid, whatever you have. And now you move the energy from the main electrical panel through the generator port, through the 50 amp AC cable, into the 50 amp AC input on the inverter to then charge the battery pack.
That's how we do it.
Then you can go back to the step one, where now you got the AC output going through the cable, through the generator port, into the sub panel to power the breakers that are in your home. So now you can divide up, you can disconnect from the grid this way. This is like a video game.
Right? Doesn't this make you want to make like a solar installing video game?
Yeah, this is really good.
Andy destroyed this one. It's great. Great work, Andy.
So right here you got the PV solar panels. Right here we're just showing 3, but you're going to get either 4 or 8 in the kit that you get from us. All PV solar panels are direct current. They're all DC, meaning they have a positive and a negative cable, like you would like a car battery. Okay? So you've got the PV panels, you wire them up together, positive to negative, and then at the end you will have one positive and one negative that connects the panels in series. Okay, so here's the PV cable that's included with the Walrus, and then here would be the 2 ends from the solar array that you just connected. And then they would wire up positive to positive and negative to the PV cable, which will go on into the PV input, into the PV input on this side. So now that's a plug-and-play situation. So you're just going to wire up all the solar panels to each other, positive to negative, all the way through. Then you'll have one black and one red left. Wire that up to the PV cable, and PV cable to the inverter, and then boom, it's done. You're done. So now you can see the energy flowing through the PV solar into the inverter. That's charging the battery pack now, and you would still need to use the 50 amp AC output to go to the sub panel to then power up your home. There you go. So that's a pretty easy how to go off-grid installation guide with the Walrus. So seems like kind of like the chat's dying out. If
Slowing down.
yeah, we'll let Nick decide when he wants to cut the teeth.
Let's give it a little bit longer. You never know when somebody comes in with a game-changing battery question. But countdown has begun. We are going to close this stream unless engagement comes back up.
So let us know. Not that many people in the chat anyway.
For those of you guys still hanging on here on the chat, be sure to like this video. I appreciate that. If you got any other questions, let us know. If by any chance you are just joining this live stream towards the tail end, my name's Nick, this is Brian. We'll still answer your questions for a little bit longer if you have any. And while we're live, only while we're live streaming, we can give you exclusive live stream discounts. That means that if you're a viewer, you can text us at the number at the top of your screen. That's 747-282-0538. Text us and say you came from the live stream, and we are authorized to give you a lower price than anything you see on our website, even lower than our currently active sales. That's how you get the lowest price on a BatteryEVO product. It's kind of the secret method. And we'll go lower on anything, you know. So if it's an Eagle battery, you get a discounted Eagle battery. If you want a Komodo tank, you get a discounted Komodo tank. Let us know what you need. I'm gonna wrap this up if I don't see some engagement.
Let us know in the chat if you don't want to chat.
Yeah, if you want us to just end the stream right now.
And honestly, don't chat with us.
It's Friday. We get the weekend. Weekend's right around the corner. We got 5 viewers with us still. Drop a like on the stream, guys. Ask us your questions. Brian and I are here for a little bit longer to answer all your questions. So if you're at the beginning of your off-grid journey, or if you have any questions along the way of your off-grid journey, let us know. GWW says, did you guys say you had installers in Florida? Brian, I think we'd have to check our installer network map, right? See if we got anybody in Florida we could send out their way.
Do?
I think we do. Brian's going to take a look for you.
Down in Florida, shout out to people in Florida. Where in Florida are you? So I got people in the Miami region, and then in the Orlando region.
We got folks near Miami and Orlando.
Well, we have a ton over here, like. Let us know where you're at. Let me see if I can find someone for you. Regardless, you could just call any C10 electrician to do the installs. It's relatively easy.
Yeah, we're happy to send somebody out your way, but just like Brian said, any C10 electrician will understand this process, because this process is standard across the solar industry that generally, if you have an electrician who comes up to your house and says they haven't done this before, call somebody else.
The Bahamas are not part of the USA, huh?
No. I think the Bahamas are a territory of Britain. I know Bimini is. That's one of the islands in that area. We got Puerto Rico though as a territory.
Puerto Rico is. How did Puerto Rico get? But then it's like there's a bunch of islands here. You know the history of that? Like why Puerto Rico but not the other?
That I don't know. Probably something to do with Spain would be a guess. I heard they vote every year on whether or not they want to be a state. It's always no.
Every year.
Yeah.
Whoa, there's a lot of islands.
Alright guys, unless we got more chat picking up, I'm going to give this stream the 5-minute notice. We'll be wrapping up at 4:25 EST, 7:25 EST, 5:25 Mountain Time. I know my time zones. We're going to be at NAB next week.
Oh yeah.
Las Vegas, big show. We're going to be showing off the Komodo, meeting up with our friends at Atlas Lens Co.
Yeah. If anybody wants to see the Komodo live in person and wants an excuse to go gamble, we'll be at the NAB show in Las Vegas at the Las Vegas Convention Center, April 5th through 9th. The Komodo should be there, and then we'll be there. I'll be there.
We will
Nick
be there. I'll be there Monday. If anybody wants to come through, Monday I'm going to be filming Komodo content in Vegas at NAB.
You could
I'm
go.
going to be
you could
participating
go,
in a little Hot Ones
Oh yeah.
parody show that
They're
Atlas
gonna
is
let you
putting
do
together.
it, like be on the show. Like you're gonna be.
So that's what he said in DMs last night. We'll see. Maybe I'll pull up and then the guys who are actually filming it are like, nah.
No, I didn't. Yeah, they'll go for it. They might. They'll go. So we'll be there. Atlas Lens Co will be there. I'll be with the Atlas Lens Co team and the BatteryEVO team, or the Komodo team. Yeah, if anybody wants, and if you want, go to NAB show or NAB, look it up on Google. There is registration. If you want free tickets, go to atlaslensco.com and there should be a form there you can fill out, and you'll get a free code pass.
We'll hook you up.
To get the tickets for free. Pull up to NAB. We'll be there.
Brian will be there Sunday. I'll be there Monday. Brian, I kind of want you to stick around for Monday, but that's your prerogative.
We'll see.
Well, what would this team do without both of us here on Monday? It's a sad sight.
Andy? Yeah,
Andy's in charge on Monday.
Andy's in charge?
Andy has management experience.
If Andy takes over, there's going to be so many executive orders going down that day.
I'm not reporting.
By the people, for the people?
Guys, it's 4:22. I'm ending at 4:25. So
Call in.
this is that 3-minute notice. Give us a text in while you still can. Give us a question while you still can. If we start a good combo with one of you guys here, I'll go past my 4:25 deadline. After.
I also sometimes wonder, like, if you're watching this later on for whatever reason, just text us.
Just text us anyway. We're lonely.
Just text us. Make sure also when you get your YouTube live links to try to check out during that day, because what happens is your YouTube live discount will expire if you don't purchase.
All right, we're down to one viewer. That's Brian Me. I think that's our cue to end. All right, guys, it's been a Friday afternoon live stream. Good talking to you, those of you who came through. Hope everybody has a great weekend. This is BatteryEVO, signing off.